bench top crunch. Now make sure you get nice and close to your bench for this one, so you're creating a small package to start with. And then when you do those crunches, they're going to feel really tight because of the confined space. So this is an excellent way of training, in particular, your upper abs. Your turn to try this exercise. Elevated glutes bridge for this exercise. So starting on the floor with my heels on top of the bench, and I'm gonna squeeze my glutes and my hamstrings, and I'm gonna apply all my weight onto my heels and lift all the way up. Now you can see I'm hitting a straight line from my shoulder to my knee once I'm elevated. So we've got to make sure we get there. Your turn to try this one. Working some up scissors for this exercise. Now you want to try and make sure that your knees are as straight as you can keep them, and it's just some scissor kicks, but they're vertical. Let's get you to have a go at this one. Prone angel wings for this exercise. So lying on your bench in a prone position, you want to make sure your chest is lifted, and we're just going to go with soft straight arms from in front of you all the way to your thighs in a horizontal motion. Your turn to try this one. Hips thruster with a single leg for this one. So Using the bench for a bit of elevation, you can see my arms are right out in that crucifix position, and I'm just pushing with the hips and lifting right up as much as I can and dropping back down. We're going to try this with both legs. Your turn. I'm working an inchworm for this one, and you can see that I'm going back into an extended plank using the bench for a little bit of elevation. So just a matter of going all the way back, reaching out as much as you can, really engaging your core, and then working your way back up into that standing position and get that bit of hamstring stretch once you're at the top of it as well. Your turn to try this one. Okay guys, let's grab some dumbbells for the next bunch of exercises. Now the other thing I want you guys to do is grab yourselves either a flat bench or a multi-fold mat to create some elevation for these exercises. Starting with your arms straight holding up the dumbbell, we're going to go straight into some dumbbell crunches on the bench. So you've just got to make sure that your lower back remains pinned against your bench, and it's just a nice lift of the shoulder blades whilst keeping your arms nice and straight for this one. Your turn to try it. Working a variation of a Russian twist for this one. So you can see we're doing it with our feet up, so there's no support there. Your core is a little bit more active, and we're going to try to keep our weight on the butt cheeks rather than the tailbone. And it's just a matter of twisting from side to side for this one. Let's get you guys to have a go. working some good mornings from over the bench on this one. So you want to make sure that your knees are remaining relatively soft straight. There's no extra bending of the knees. And then what you want to make sure you do is you're just bending forward with a tight back, neutral spine, and pushing straight back up. So this is an excellent exercise range for your hamstrings and for your lower back as well. Your turn. Dumbbells Abs Tuck. Now, you could do this with or without the dumbbell. So if you've got the core strength to do it with the dumbbell, then do that. Otherwise, you can always lose the dumbbell and just do it manually. You can see I'm holding the seat for support and then just pulling those knees all the way to my chest and then releasing until I've got nice straight legs. Your turn to try this one. Let's everybody repeat the last 4 exercises. Let's everybody repeat the last 4 exercises. weighted side bend from a side plank position for this exercise. So you can see I've got my top foot in front of my bottom foot, which I like to use for stability, but if you wanted to do a straight stack with your legs, that's okay as well. Just very important to try and maintain a straight line from your ankle all the way to your shoulder. And we're just dropping down into that side bend, getting your hip to the ground or close to the ground, and then lifting back up into that side plank. We're going to do both sides. Your turn to try it. Standing weighted side bend for this exercise with a single dumbbell. So you can see I'm starting with a nice wide stance and just making sure that my knees are straight. So I'm not going to compensate by bending my knees throughout this exercise. And then it's just a push to the side and tilting until your hands gone well past your knees if you can. And then lifting up into that straight line, just making sure that you're maintaining a neutral spine for this one. Once we finish one side, we're going to turn around and hit the other side as well. Your turn to try it. Two-in-one exercise for this one, guys. So we're going to start off with a single arm skull crusher, and once you get to the top of that, once you get to that vertical line with your arm, we're going to keep pushing up and go into a crunch, and then return back with your lower back nice and flat on the bench and straight back into the skull crusher for this one. Very important to minimize any movement in your elbow as you're working through, and just making sure you're pushing straight up and getting the full extent of that crunch throughout the motion. Your turn to try this one. let's everybody repeat the last 3 exercises. this segment of the program is all about high intensity 30-second intervals. We'll pick up 2 exercises and train 3 lots of 30 seconds, alternating between exercises for a total of 3 minutes per set. Let's get straight into it. Starting this combination with some side hops, so just making sure that your feet are staying together, you're nice and light on your feet, and just hopping from side to side. And then what we'll do is we're going to combine this with a hanging run, hanging using the top bar and just running with high knees. Now if you don't have the right equipment, or if you can't reach the top bar, you can do running with high knees just on the floor as an alternative. Your turn to try this one. Starting this exercise with a nice difficult Everest mountain climber, so much like the mountain climbers that you would do, except they're nice and lengthy, and it's going to be pretty difficult to keep the pace up, but we're going to do it. Then to get your heart rate back down a little bit, we're going to turn over into that supine position and we're going to get up into that abs plank. So make sure that your shoulder blades and head's lifted off the ground, and make sure you're keeping your legs nice and straight to get that really good core contraction. For this exercise, we're going to combine working some high-pace squats with a traditional plank. So for the first 30 seconds, we're going to work those high-pace squats, feet nice and parallel, knees right over the top. They're not swinging in or out or pushing back and forth. And then we're going to drop down and work our traditional plank from the elbow. Your turn to try this one for yourself. Starting this combination with a plyometric get-up. So much like a bench get-up, except we're putting a jump at the end of it. And then when you land on your feet nice and light, we're going to keep working our way back down until our butt touches the bench. We're going to combine this exercise with some assisted push-ups or bench push-ups if you like. So using the bench, you're creating that bit of elevation, so it's a little bit easier to get through the push-ups. So we're going to go nice and deep, and we're going to go all the way through until it's time to go back to the original exercise. Your turn to try this one. Well done for getting through your workout today, guys. Let's take a moment to stretch and cool our body back down now. Comment and let us know what you thought of today's workout, and remember to hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with all the latest workouts.